great milestone on your part, and also, I mean, for the country that eventually we have women's football, women's professional women's league. But is it where you would like it to be? What are some of the things that you think should improve about it?
No, I think we have the structure in place,
Yeah,
but we don't have the quality.
yeah,
So what we have to now focus on
yeah,
is to improve the quality of the league.
yeah,
Now, we've done two things there. We've decided to sell 2 franchises,
yeah,
and that can be bought by any PSL club or any other club or an entity.
yeah,
So the league will then be 16.
yeah,
The league starts in June, and at the end of the season, there will be 2 teams relegated and 2 promoted.
okay,
And that is because we have seen in year 1 there was no relegation.
yeah,
And if we continue, there is no motivation, incentive for the teams to improve
yeah,
the quality of their team, because they lose 11-0, 10-0, 8-0. But it doesn't matter because there's no relegation. So we said, look, it's not in the interest of the league. The second thing, we asked the coach of the quality of the league and the players that comes into Banyana.
yeah,
And she said, the problem that we now have is that we have about 20 women players playing in Europe.
yeah,
So, of course, when she selects the Banyana team, there are those who come from Europe
yeah,
and those that come from our own league.
yeah,
And there is a gap between the quality of the players from our local or domestic league and those who come from overseas.
yeah,
And therefore we have to improve the quality of the domestic league. We then said we have to introduce it now, because for a professional club it's easy.
yeah,
There are many good players in Zambia, in Botswana, Zimbabwe, all of our neighboring countries, Mozambique, Angola, very good women players. So they can sign 2-3 women players, and that will change the quality of their team. But if there's no relegation, there's no incentive to do anything about improving the quality of your performance.
yeah.
So that is what we intend doing in the new season.
What with regard to sponsorships, how is it going?
We are having, in fact, we're having a meeting today with the SABC, because, you know, your broadcast is linked to your commercial package.
Yeah,
And the SABC has been carrying the league for the first year now.
yeah,
And now we have to take the second step to say, what are the things, the value add to the league, and bringing in a commercial partner,
yeah,
so that the quality of the league, the product offering is enhanced, and greater revenue into the league.
Yeah.
So those are issues that we have to address in order, when the league kicks off in June.
So right now there is no sponsorship for...
There is protracted negotiations
Yeah.
on this matter,
Yeah, okay.
and we think we will be able to close this matter,
All right, cool.
because there's a lot of interest, you know.
Yeah.
There's,
Yes,
but to turn the interest into a real contract and real commitment, financial
Yeah.
commitment, and the flow of the money,
Yeah.
that's where that process is now.
All right. And just talking about sponsorships, I think SAFA as a whole has been seeing a loss of sponsorship deals.
No,
Yeah.
we didn't lose any sponsorship. SAB is still there.
Yeah,
Sasol is there.
yeah,
What we've lost
Yeah.
is 100 million from our broadcast revenue. That's where a huge loss. And for any organization to lose 100 million
yeah,
is a massive loss.
yeah,
Because all of a sudden you now have a gap of 100 million. You
Yeah.
cannot make that up easy.
yeah,
And the second thing that flows, that if you don't have a broadcast of your matches and your activity, you cannot attract new sponsors.
Yeah.
And so we've engaged SABC, at least we have a contract, It's not satisfactory. It's not close to the amount that we wanted, and what we regard as a value of our properties.
Yeah.
But of course, SABC has just said we don't have the money.
And talking about the 100 million that you say you've lost, there were reports that there was about 450 million that was owed to SAFA. There was an agreement that by CIA TV that was written off. How true is that?
No, you see, and this is where the problem comes in, and you see the issues now before the Zondo Commission.
Yeah.
This was the set-top boxes.
Yeah.
And CIA TV came into the market on the understanding that there would be legislation to support broadcasters like CIA to diversify the ownership in the broadcast space. And of course, net didn't happen. It was a protected issue. And of course, our deal with CIA was that they would pay us $200 million a year.
Yeah.
And they just never got off the ground.
Yeah.
And not because of their own making, but because of the drag in legislation.
Yeah.
And of course, Supersport was not happy with that situation, because a new entrant or another entrant in the broadcast space. So essentially what you have the dominance of multi-choice, and then you have the SABC.
Yeah.
Because even the SABC is on their platform.
Okay, so there was no 450 million that was written off.
No, it never realized, because we understood that we had hoped that the legislation would be passed, the set-top box will be produced. As a trial run, they started in the Northern Cape, for example. But it never saw the light of day.
Would you say the association at the moment, if you were to rate it, how would you rate it in terms of its financial and administrative strength right now? Is it in a strong position?
Well, it's manageable.
Yeah.
Because you must know that we get $2 million from FIFA.
Yes.
And we have a legacy trust, and that helps to keep things afloat. But we are assigning new contracts, and so this matter, I think, by June will be resolved.